Okay, a quick little video on exactly how I make a carrier sheet for many things. Today I'm making one to replace my coffee filter. I've been printing coffee filters so much that the last one got beat up pretty bad, so I'm going to make a new one. These sticker sheets I get from Amazon, and they're pretty good for printing stickers, cutting out with whatever scissors or Cricut Joy or Silhouette Cameo or whatever. But anyway, what I first do is, by the way, they're about 16 cents a piece, Amazon Basics. So they're pretty cheap. This is the backing sheet. Now don't throw that away. This is the sticky side, as you can see. And I pull it off and save the backing sheet because it just comes in so handy for so many things. But today I need a carrier sheet. And this one I'm going to make. I make them for many things, like book pages, envelopes, and the procedure is pretty much the same. You just have to kind of make it work for you. Now, I'm going to this is a roughly 8.5 inch coffee filter. You can see my hand sticking to it. And all I'm trying to do is make a circle. Actually, I'm going to pause this and get a pen. I think a pen will be better. But anyway, anything that'll make a mark, and the pencil is just, maybe it'll work if I press it down a little bit. Let me see. Well, yeah, it does sort of work. And it doesn't have to be perfectly accurate, because many times your print, if you make your design just a tad bit bigger, it'll bleed out on the print. So a rough circle is pretty good. I'm going to show you the next most important thing. I might just leave this on here just to see if you can see it. Yeah, because it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to leave this on here. And we're getting ready to print, I would use a credit card, key card, hotel card, whatever you want to call it, and start pressing it down. And I usually do this on a wall, and I hold the thing with one hand, and then that way I don't stick it right to begin with like I did now, because now I have to lift it so that I can get it all smoothed out. But you can see it smooths pretty much all the wrinkles out. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so now this will be ready to print, except not now. One of the most important things you have to do, and I've never tried it not doing it, but I am pretty sure that this high stick stuff on the corners will definitely gum up the roller in the printer, and you may ruin your printer. However, what I do is I use this for so much. This is nothing more than baby powder and a nice soft brush. And I just start to, whoops, you can see. I want to lay it on the corners, and then I can brush off anything later on if I put too much. You really can't put too much. You could just take a whole big bunch of this and just start. Or actually, I believe I could just, let me go get my shaker. That might be the best thing. Hold on. Okay, I use this. I don't know, I probably got it at the Dollar Tree. It's cornstarch baby powder. I don't have a baby, and I use it for many things. Certainly comes in handy crafting. So I'm just going to put some down here, because you can see how sticky it would be otherwise. And then just gently start spreading it. And you can remove any excess, because once the sticky part is knocked back, everywhere except the circle. See, like this, it doesn't stick anymore. So I can feel this now, and it's not sticking to my hand. And I can get a really good, I can easily remove all the residue. In fact, I can do this with my hand. Don't need the brush at this point. And it works actually pretty well with my hand. I'm used to using the brush because I do lots of small areas. I also use this on the back of packing tape. You know, when I have picked up paint. Yeah, and this is working very well. So I will put the remainder of that back into this container and use it for some of my smaller projects. But this worked great. You can see there's no stickiness now. And if you feel better, let me go get a paper towel. And now I could just wipe it all off. You can see there's no stickiness. It would be sticking to this paper if there were. Here's a little spot maybe. Be very sensitive about making sure there's no stickiness left. This can be any shape you want of anything that you want to run through the printer. You can do the same thing with fabric. The key is you have to measure from the top down a little bit, maybe from the bottom up a little bit. And when you're using whatever computer design program you use, I use Silhouette Studio for everything, and I love it. And I can do so many things with it. But I can easily create the design I want on this. Run it through either a laser printer or it doesn't matter. And I've had great results. The only problem I get in trouble with is I don't use the laser printer very much. It's a black and white. My husband uses it most time. And I forget that the side you want printed, you have to put up. Whereas the printer I use all of the time, which is an EcoTank, Epson EcoTank, and I love color printer, it just seems like the ink lasts forever on that thing. It's just so amazing and does a really good job. Anyway, you put this down to print and up on the laser printer, in my case. Don't know what you all will have. But anyway, that's it. And I'm ready to print this. And I've been doing so many things with it. So I'm going to close this for now and then do another little short video. This is longer than I wanted. Oh no, 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Anyway, I will do another video showing some of the things that I've printed. Okay, by the way, I have a little baggie, and I try to keep all of the scraps that I have cut from coffee filters. Sometimes they're plain ones that doesn't have anything on them, and I use them as test pieces for color or whatever. But I try to keep, and I have a whole lot more of these that I need to put in. In fact, I'll go get a few right now. So these are offcuts from things that I've just made in the last few days. So they're just fun to use as collage material. And some of the things I make, I use the whole coffee filter, and I don't have any leftovers. But some of the things have a few little pieces I cut off. So there we go, that goes in there. Now here's an example. Here's one I printed the other day. I want sentiments, and I wanted them to be in a, brownish tone. So I set up my computer to put all of these in their different fonts and different words. You can see some of them I've already used, and I prefer using my finger most of the time. I could cut it with the scissors, but if I use my finger, I get this soft, feathered edge, which I prefer usually when I glue things down. And I like that. And plus, I could add some ink to it. Anyway, what I do is cut them as I need them. Okay, so that's one. This one I did on, I think on my husband's black and white laser print. But I did it on a used coffee filter, a lightly used. It's a light colored coffee, as you can see on the back, not a a very brown one. Here's some from my Edith Holden book. I printed out a page of her. I love her, the font. It's really hard to find this font, I think. I've tried on occasion. If anybody out there knows what it is, boy, I'd love to know. Anyway, it's that sweet little vintage looking but handwritten looking font. I love that. So I needed some background papers. And this is a well-used coffee filter. You can see all the coffee stain on it. And I think I might have run this one through the laser printer. If it's going to be all black and white, I tend to want to do that. But mostly, now this is a coffee filter I made. I'm going to be using this to cover something. And this little square to cover something. It's got a bunny rabbit on there and some text. The pieces I save in the back, I will be able to use as collage material. The clocks, a couple of rulers, and some more timepieces. So that's a very useful thing to do. I love ticking. And so I have a pattern on my computer that has beautiful ticking. And on a future one I will reduce the size of this, and that would be nice, but it's a real high quality image. It's best if you can use a high quality image all of the time. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And as you can see, this is a white unused coffee filter, I believe. If you can use both. Obviously, colors look better on white. This one here, you can just make a pocket by going like this and like that. And you might decorate that a little bit. Or if you want that to be the feature, you can make it go like this and like this and like that. Probably that's what I would do. It looks a little bit better maybe. So, and then just glue the sides up and you've got a nice cute little pocket. That's the easy one. It uses all of the I love this. Just something about black ethnic prints that I just love, like this one. And this one, I think I've got a whole series of these that I like. And this is a bird on music. I can design some of my own too, with various elements that I have on my computer. If you're looking for free images that are high quality, go to Raw Pixel and Pixabay, but Raw Pixel has a lot of public domain vintage stuff, if that's your cup of tea. And this one here, you know, it's maybe a napkin. I don't know where I got these from. And this one here, I played around with, obviously. Of course, this is not going to work very well with tag shapes and circle shapes. And the other thing I love very much is, oh goodness, it'll come to William Morris. William Morris designs. And I have a lot of those. And something like this is useful. I will do 2 or 3 of these because you can never have enough black and white. Then I have a lace pattern that I love. And, you know, you can just do anything with that. I'll show you some of the things I've made there. I have several. I printed this out. Some of them with either darker coffee filter, or I darkened up the back of the print. But that's very useful. And this one here is just a collage. It's very subtle. I hope I have the right side. Yeah, I do have the right side. Anyway, it's got just odds and sods here. Anyway, here's something I made from a coffee filter. I haven't glued this one yet. I've glued all others I've made. But this design, you have to remember to, when you do it layout on your computer, you really want to use this space. Here's an example, okay? So this space on the computer, this is how it would be on this computer screen, and you can fill that in let's see. Yeah, what I did is I had the blue sky in the background of the whole piece. And then it would look like this. Okay, and I had this designed on my computer, upside down, everything up here, right side here, and then it gets folded on the sides. I end up cutting that little piece on the edge, which I just showed you I sometimes have in my, right here, otherwise this would be round. And then I glue this down. And then actually what I do is glue this down here, and then I glue this onto this and make a booklet like that. So pretty little booklet. And the sides, once it's all put together, with this side being glued and this side being reinforced, you can make little insert cards, journaling cards, or tags, small tags, of course, to fit in there. The other thing you can do is what I've done with this one here. This is some of my favorite artists from either art journaling or Somerset Studio. And I just was trying to use the template and see how it would turn out. I had done these a long time ago, and then I had an old template on my files that I could use to lay it out, much as I showed you with this one when it was open. Now this one's been glued. As you can see, it has a nice turnover, so you don't have any showing. You have some kind of print there. And then I just cut this with using 2 coffee filters, one to do this and one to do the inside pages. You see, this is folded. Let me see if I can get to the middle. Oh, I didn't get to the middle. Yeah, so I have one piece like that and one piece like that. So again, I have these extra edges that I throw into my plastic bag. And then I put these together and I get all of these pages. And I'll take that up to the sewing machine maybe, or hand sew it in. And it's a booklet that just feels so nice because it's so thin. And this has, what, 8 pages inside? You could even do more. You could do twice that many, but you'd use another coffee filter. So you can get 1 coffee filter to get 8 pages going in here. And so there's that. This one I made a very long time ago. I think I put white gesso in there, but I do have an opening here for a tag or something. And this I was experimenting with both I made 2 the same. This one came out of my regular inkjet printer and has a little more color in. I can tell because of this. This one I printed on my laser printer, and the image of the face was better. But what I did with these, since there was so much blacky, grungy stuff, before I assembled it, glued it down, I put white gesso on the inside while it was still open. See the white gesso in there? I just smoothed it with my finger, and I knew these are not exactly translucent, or transparent, but they are translucent. So this is a bit of a grungy look. I think I got this image from Raw Pixel, and it's some famous artist, and I've forgotten who it is. Anyway, I did both these exactly the same, except this one with the color, this particular part of the image turned out better. This one turned out better with the face laser, but in the inside it's kind of indistinguishable what is happening here, although it's darker. Anyway, I think I like them both, but they're both different. I like a little bit of color sometimes. Anyway, that's what I made out of here. Then I decided I could make these little booklets. I have another template that enabled me to use the same amount of, let's see, if this were reversed, let me see, same amount of space on here, okay? and I ended up dividing it into, I think it was 4 equal sections, top and bottom, and then knowing I could put, this one's already been glued, I think they're all glued. You can see the template I have has this inky looking edges, that's all, and then I just dragged in some, I made a shape on the computer, knowing how little this was going to be, and could just slide whatever images I wanted in there. So that's this little booklet here. And I could add papers to this as well, writing space. But it's just a pretty little booklet. And I think I made 2 of them. I don't know what I did with the second one. It's floating around here somewhere. Okay, but this is the space on the coffee filter I used, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rectangles. These have to be upside down in order to do this. This has to be right side, or vice versa. One of these 4 sections has to be upside down so that it will read properly. And then you use the zine folding technique, which means you fold it this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, I think. No, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and see what I did. Yeah, you have to fold it. Yeah, that's right. This 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get with 4 sections. And then when you fold it in the zine fold technique, which you can find on the internet, you have these cute little booklets, which, by the way, fit in any little pocket. And then one of the beauties of making things with coffee filters is there's hardly any bulk. I mean, these are so, you could stack this thing full of stuff and it still would be relatively thin. So that's this one here. And then you can take the regular coffee filter, like this, and fold these sides over. This is a no-brainer. Fold them over. So those that you're using, for example, a full printed sheet, you don't have to have a section that you're concentrating on.